Hey, what's up guys? We are at a house that we're about to do some real estate photography for, and I'm going to show you kind of what to do, walk you through it, and got a guy here we're going to go talk to real quick. So we always go in, meet the owner, talk to them, walk through the house. You got to turn on all the lights, open the blinds, stuff like that, and you don't want your camera in your hand, because I've had it happen before where my camera was set up and something hit it over and it broke. So don't set it up. How you doing? My name's Dan.
Sydney.
Sydney, nice to meet you. All right, so I appreciate you opening it up for me.
Yeah. It's open. Front door's still locked. I just went through the garage.
Okay. Yeah.
Ashley wanted me to take them curtains down. That's what I did back in the back.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Yeah, that's helpful very much. So. All right, well, thank you very much.
Okay.
So you just came here to let us in. Unlock this, so we don't get locked out. All right, so what you do is you come in the house and you turn on all the lights in here. All lights, anything with a light bulb, lamp, whatever you want to turn on. Now this is a little different than normal because this, as you can tell, is an empty house. So it's gonna be a little bit different shoot as far as like what you do and don't do, because there's not a lot of stuff in here. There's no one here. That's the other thing that you'll deal with. So you want to turn on all the lights and turn off fans. So the type of photography that I'm going to be teaching you today or showing you is HDR photography. HDR is when you take 3 shots at the same time. They're different exposures and you combine them to make them one. So I don't know what everyone else is doing. Some people do flash photography in real estate. I do HDR. So what you do is you turn on all these lights. Blinds are open. Cool. The reason why fans aren't good in HDR photography is when you take them, it looks like it's spinning. So you don't want that. You kind of want to, because people, they're buying the house, they want to see the fan. They want to see the fixtures and stuff like that too. So edge of the backyard's open. Everything looks good. Yeah, it's not bad. Small backyard. All right. This is cool. Now these I want to open up a little bit more. This is the sunroom, so I want to do sunning. So depending on the time of day, will depend on how much I open and where the sun's at. Most of the time, if I can, I'm going to open them up all the way. That means straight line where I think the camera's going to be, because it's good to see if you can make it happen. Again, depending on the time of day and stuff, but usually you can see through the window, see where you're at in the house, stuff like that. It helps. So you just go to each room. Hallway lights are big too. Make sure every light and electricity is going. Open all the doors too. So you want to go in and check. So this fan's on. I just think it's turned off. Actually, the time that my camera broke, I was outside picking some stuff up. I put it on I set it up somewhere, and no, I don't want the fan on. And a gust of wind grabbed the screen of the sliding glass door, hit my camera, and knocked the whole thing over on the cement, busted the lens. But most of the time, we don't shoot closets. You don't shoot like this. You're not gonna shoot. This is, because it's nothing. That's for when people come here to see it. But usually you won't shoot garages or closets. One thing you definitely do want to do, toilet seats down. Realtors hate that. Anytime you see a toilet seat, put the toilet seat down. Closet. I'll turn it on, but I'm probably gonna leave that shut. But I might leave it open. Who knows? We'll see when I get the camera out and look. Empty houses are good because usually they are looking like there's nothing here. So you don't really got to deal with a lot of other issues that you normally do. This light is on. Countertops. Make sure the countertops are clean, if there's nothing there. So you just want these all to look the same. So this, I'm going to just go down. All open. All right. This looks pretty good. Just make sure it's ready and set for you to come in. All right, I didn't see what's in here. Laundry room. Oh, and this is the garage. So we definitely want to close this garage. We don't want that open when we shoot. Most of the time you're not going to shoot a garage All right, now we're set. Now what we do is we go get our camera set up and start shooting. What we're gonna do is we're gonna shoot the outside first, and we're gonna shoot them at the same time. Because what you wanna do is you're gonna shoot the front yard, and then you're gonna shoot the back at the same time. Don't wait, because what happens sometimes is lighting changes, there's a storm coming, something happens, you don't maybe get to shoot it because it's raining, or it gets dark and you miss it or whatever. So you always wanna shoot the outside at the same time, and then you shoot the inside last. When you come inside, what we'll do first is we'll shoot the main areas first. If someone's here with you, then it might depend on a lot of things. You know, if they're in here talking and doing business, then you might want to wait and do the bedroom first, because just being polite. This is part of the process. You are a salesman and you're running a business, so you want to be polite and kind to your clients who are usually actually here. So, but most of the time we're going to shoot the main areas first. We'll shoot the front door, living room, kitchen first, because they take the most time. And then last we'll jump to the bedrooms once we get inside. But first things first, we go outside and shoot. Let's go. All right, so cameras. This is a DSLR camera. The lens separates from the body. That makes it pretty pro camera. The lens is important with real estate photography. You really need a wide lens, and not just a regular wide lens like this. This is considered a wide angle lens. It's a 24 to 105 standard lens that comes with a lot of higher end cameras, but that's not wide enough. You need at least like a 17, 16. That's what this is. This is 17 to 40. It's a lot cheaper than the 16 to 35, which is a standard one that people go to, but that's really pricey. This one's kind of it has a high aperture, so f-stop of 4. But in real estate photography, it doesn't matter how low you go, because you're shooting high apertures anyway, because you need a lot of stuff in focus. So this is a cheaper lens, and it's really good. 17 is pretty wide. It's really wide actually, so it gets the job done. You always want to be shooting on a tripod. You have to be shooting on a tripod when you shoot real estate photography. So always make sure you got a good tripod, especially when you're shooting. I mean, again, I don't know what kind of photography you're shooting, but when you shoot HDR, shooting on a tripod is a necessity. It's not a, oh, I can maybe handle it. No, because the slightest move, the slightest touch, even on a tripod, I've had stuff where it doesn't work because it's slightly moved or slightly whatever wasn't tight, and it kind of slipped, and that messed up the photos. This around your neck all the time is super handy, because sometimes, again, stuff happens, this gets loose, it may fall. You want it on your person at all times.
I didn't mow the backyard.
Oh, no problem. This one's important. You can't have any cars parked in the front of the house or on the other side of the house if it's a small road like this. I knew it when I saw it. This is a tight road, so there's no way to park like right here, because you'll be directly in the way. See how close the house is? You need the whole house in frame, and you need to be zoomed in a little bit. You can't be super wide when you do these, because it distorts it. It doesn't look right. So you got to be zoomed in just enough. Make sure the lens cap is off. And this is about right. So I zoom in almost all the way most of the time, so it's at a 40. I get that about right. And this is good. Yeah. So no cars in the driveway, garage down. So when they're here, if they live here, you gotta tell them to move, go down the street. When you park, don't park in front of the house. Don't park across the street directly, anywhere near the house. Park somewhere else. I'm not gonna take you all the way through it, but we'll shoot probably 5 photos in the front. So you shoot one direct dead on, and you shoot over here. So you walk over there, take another one kind of at the caddy corner, get a different angle of the house. And if you can, get one to the left. So 3 in the front, you're zoomed in, pop, pop, pop. And you go in a little tighter for a little bit more close detail shots, but a little wider. So I might go and get one zoomed in at the door and make it look kind of pretty like a picture. And then, so you kind of see closer details of the house. And then you also maybe do a little wider shot, maybe it's caddy cornered, to see what it looks like walking to the pathway to the door, or maybe of the driveway. Who knows? That's kind of, you play it when you get there, see what looks best. And then we'll go to the backyard, and then really in the backyard, usually just getting one from the corner. I'll show you that later, but just getting one from the corner, shooting towards the house. So I'm gonna pop these real quick, and then we'll probably go inside. I was gonna show you real quick the HDR how you make that happen. You set your camera to, I don't know if you probably see it, but you're looking at exposure here. So you click on that and you do your little wheel. You see these little dots moving? This is exposure, so -2, +2. That's what it says right there. I go all the way to the ends here, click OK. Now when it takes a picture, it's going to take 3 exposures, but it won't do it if you're not on a timer. So if you just pop the picture, it'll take 1. But if you set your timer on your camera, I'll show you that later, or you can just look it up online how to set a timer on your camera. I'll set it for 2 seconds, and then it will take those 3 photos. So you line it up. I basically try to get the center of the house in the center of the photo. So that door line right there is my center, and that's where I'm aiming to get the center of the photo. Get my focus, make sure my exposure is even. So that means these 3 little, over here, you can take a look. These three little dashes right here move. And I'm looking to get that center one right in the middle. All right. Make sure everything's tight, looking good. All right, then I'll take it, do a timer. It takes 3 different photos. It takes a dark one, takes the medium, mid-tones, and then it gets the high. So it's like super highly exposed, underexposed, and right on time. So you get the highlights, you get the shadows, and you get the mid-tones, and you combine them together, and it looks really, really good. So now we're in the house, and what we do is we start at the front door. It makes sense to kind of walk through the house like you would if you're walking through the house. So when I start shooting, it also helps you not miss anything, right? So I know I'm gonna start at the front door, I'm gonna move to what I see in the camera. So I'm gonna shoot this, and then you get the door in this dining room right here, and then the next obvious move is to shoot the dining room. So you kind of methodically walk through it, and then right in this shot, I can see that doorway to the kitchen. So I'm gonna go probably doorway to the kitchen, but most likely, I'm gonna go back here and get this, because right where you're standing right now is a big walkway. So the walkway, I wanna see that, and I see the door over there to the kitchen. So I'm probably gonna get this shot, which is gonna look a lot wider than it does right there. So you can see, again, everything. And the main reason you want a wide angle lens is for the interiors. The interiors is where it sucks and almost impossible to get a room if you don't have a wide angle lens. Even a 24mm lens is not wide enough. It's gonna look like it's zoomed in. Kind of want to get that, but it's not in the shot. But if I scoot back further, I know that I'll miss all this. And the shot will look very narrow. So I'm gonna cut that out. Keep this wall right here, and I'm seeing all this and that door. And the corners of the walls. Corners are good sometimes. So that's the brighter one right there. That's the darker one, that's the medium. So you'll combine all those into one and you'll be able to see. If you want to go dead on, so with a wide angle lens, you gotta understand how it works. Dead on makes this look really long. So that doesn't always usually work. It also makes it look narrow. So it might look the best, because I can see that door and that window. But I don't know.
You don't need anything from me.
Oh no, I think we're good. You want me to lock the door and go through the garage?
Yeah, I think it doesn't just lock the door and.
Go through the garage and lock it?
It doesn't matter, go through the garage, this, just lock this and go out this way, it does not matter.
Okay, I appreciate you.
Okay.
That's what you said, Nick. If I'm getting a room and there's a window in it, I'm getting that window because it makes the room look nicer, bigger. I don't know. It's better to have it and not use it than not have it, especially in these kind of shoots. You gotta kind of crouch down in the corner sometimes. Now I'm getting everything here. I see that opening. Get my exposure right. Oh, it's still high, that's why. I dropped down my aperture too to about 8. So outside I'm about, if you guys are camera geeks and you know what I'm talking about, I'm at an aperture probably about 13 outside, which gives you a lot of depth, gives you a lot of, in focus, gives do a lot of in focus, and inside, that's just too high because there's not enough light in here. So you're gonna drop that down to about an 8 or 7.1. And then you get your settings right for the exposure. Usually I get it lower too. I'm trying to decide. I drop the tripod lower to make it look more accurate. That's the thing you want. Just make it look accurate as you can, but like for me, I'm 6'2". So my view is not gonna be the same view as most people. So I gotta crouch. Because you can tell by the door lines, you can tell by where the switches are. A lot of houses have switches that are super low ceilings, low switches, low door handles. And if I shot up here, it's gonna make it look weird. So I gotta shoot at their level. Now these are pretty level. This is a normal height, so it's a little low, but ceilings are high, so that's not gonna look too weird. But you gotta decide on your height of tripod too. And I'm doing this for you mainly because most of the time I will look at it and I would do it and I would just make a decision and fly. But I'm talking, I'm teaching you, so I'm just kind of thinking about it. And I want to teach you the best way I can, so I'm trying to be the best possible. But most of the time when no one's here, like right now, as you see, no one's here, I quickly make these decisions. So right now, I'm doing this. Because in real estate photography, so that's how quickly you go. You make a decision, you do it. Because in real estate photography, it's not you're not getting a whole lot of money. So your money's gonna come from doing volume, right? So you gotta next shoot, you gotta get this done in an hour and a half, get out, get to the next shoot. And we do have another shoot today, so I'm gonna pick it up pace a little bit. I may turn off the camera for now. Okay, so here's a perfect opportunity to tell you about one of the main things in real estate photography that I think is important is shooting photos that show you where you're at in the house. But one of the main goals, besides obviously making the house look beautiful and stuff like that, is to actually show you where stuff is, the layout of the house. If you can do that too, then your photos are going to be much better, I think. Like I've taken photos of houses before that have sold sight unseen. So that means they bought it before, when they saw it online, they didn't go and see it because they felt that they knew it already. And that means like, where's the kitchen in reference to the front door? Here's a perfect opportunity right here. Come around here. The kitchen's right here, so I'm gonna take just a kitchen shot for sure. But it would be good to get the first one here where you can see this kitchen and you can see this front door. So you know the kitchen is right off this front door right here. That's important. So big things you can do, rooms you can't always do, but if you can, then do it. So I would shoot this living room normally, like you would, but I would definitely get this shot because I know I can get that fireplace, I can get that kitchen counter, I can get that other room over there, and people understand where stuff is in the house. It's very big in real estate photography. Obviously, you want to make it look good. Obviously, you want to do these, things, and you're also worried about a lot of different things. But one thing is if you got an opportunity to take one shot where you can see where one room is and another room is, I'd do it because then you can kind of get a better feeling of the layout of the house. Okay, so last thing is bedrooms. Now, when you do shoot a bedroom, and by the way, I didn't learn this from college. I didn't go to school for real estate photography. I went for TV production. So I've just done this since I was a kid. So just if you ever not feel like you've gone to school or learned anything before, don't worry. That's what these are for. I learned on site, so I'm helping you. You could learn everything I learned and right now. So when you shoot a bedroom, when you start out, the best thing you can do, these are a little different. These are a little different. It's a little catty-cornered. It's a little different. But this is the master. So the opening one is always you're going to be hugging a door of some sort. So you want to get the biggest shot that you can. So you usually be hugging a wall. You don't want to get the wall in the shot. So you're going to get your camera to where the wall is just out of frame. There's usually a corner there, and so I'm going to get this shot where this is just not in frame, and I'm going to be able to get that wall too so I can see this whole opening, but I'm going to push this door against the wall, and I'm going to usually I'm hugging a corner, so step back a little bit. Usually I'm hugging the door frame. I'm really the tripods, if this wall wasn't here and opened up, I'd be hugging the door frame like this and shooting like right here. So that's how you get these shots in the bedrooms to make them look big. Because if I walked in here and did this, then I'm missing a whole bunch. If I shot it right here, I'm missing a whole bunch of space right here. So you're already making the room look smaller than it is, which is a challenge by itself. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna just get back up against the door or the door frame, and I'm gonna look. And now see, I didn't even notice that there's actually another wall right here. So I'm seeing that. There's another wall that comes out a little bit because that's the fireplace right there. Real estate photography, the biggest thing about it is it's architectural photography. So it's all about lines, right? So straight lines. You know, symmetry is your friend in real estate photography. So what your goal is to make all these lines look straight in your photo. See the line of the creases of the walls? That's a straight line up and down. You want to make sure that's straight in your shot. See the lines right here? See the lines running on the floorboard? See the lines running? There's lines everywhere. Lines running on the windows. All those are lines that you want. Architectural photography is about the architecture. So you want those to be straight. Now it's a little difficult because some of these, you know, we're in a 3D world, right? So this line will never be straight because it's a 3D line. So basically you do that by using this bubble as a main way. There's a bubble on the tripod. It's just like, it's a level is what it is. And you just make sure that bubble is trying to get in the center. But sometimes it's not actually right because the floors may be wonky. The house may be on a hill. You don't know. So see, that's not straight. I can tell. This says it's straight, but I look in the hole here and I'm like, I see this going up. And the main thing is I'm looking at these lines on the edges of the frame. So the edge of this frame right here, I can see that it's kind of going like this. I look in, I'm like, okay. So I'm going to bring that down. And basically I'm just trying to make these sidelines in my camera look like they are going straight up and down with the room. That's about right. So you take it and you look. A lot of times you don't know, so I'm always going to look at these shots. Okay, this is a dark room, so I'm going to look at that light one right there. So see that line right there? That's the wall. And it is a little off, but it's barely off. So I'm probably not going to, if I was, you know, shooting, I could fix that in the editing room. I'm not going to probably reshoot it. How's that? That should be good. So now the biggest shot for this is going right here. Right? So I wouldn't want to be right here. It'd make it look small. There's a whole lot of room I'm missing. And also I'm getting most of this wall. So I'm going to get my shot to this right here. Pop. So I get that. I get you right there. I get the fan. And I get all this space in reverse. I'm going to take it. So the last thing is bathrooms. Bathrooms are tough because of one thing. Mirrors. They see you. If you see them, they might see you. So, actually that's not true. With photography, you can really kind of do that, but I tell people that usually when I'm photographing in their house in real estate, I'm like, well, if you can see me, I probably can see you. So, what you want to do with, see how you see yourself right there? Yeah, you don't want that. So sometimes you can't avoid it. Sometimes it is impossible to avoid, so you get your camera set and you jump out of the way because it's easier to take just the camera and the tripod out than your whole dumb face too. So you just take it and run away. But with this one, so again, you're hugging the door frame and I'm looking in the camera, you're watching here, so I'm looking in the camera and I'm trying to make sure that the bathroom looks big, but I'm also making sure that I don't see myself in that mirror. I don't. So that's good. So that's opening shot. You see the cabinets. You want to see the mirror. You want to, and again, if it's a small bathroom, you can't help it if you can't see the lights up top because it's so small. You can't help it if you can't see the floors because it's so small. You're just dealing with what you got. But if you can, you get it. So this is great. I see the shower, I see the sinks, I see the cabinets, I see the tile, I see everything. I don't see me, so that's great. And this is also the look that they'll see when they walk in, so that's also good. 3 exposures. They look fantastic. I'm very happy with them. So you can come and take a look if you can see it. I mean, I might just pull it up on the video. itself, but you see how you see, this is the brighter one, you see how you can see everything here, and you don't see me in that mirror. Because in real estate photography, you have they have a max. So usually you're shooting 25 for a smaller house, or a regular size house, I mean, and then like you can go up to 36 for bigger houses. So when you're talking about all these, like, you know, I have only 36 out of the whole house, are you really gonna shoot a pantry? No, that's stupid. You're gonna waste a photo on a pantry that they can see when they get there, or a closet, or garages. So and most realtors don't want you to shoot it, because why do you want to shoot a garage? It's a garage. So unless the garage is now a pool hall, you know, it's like a man cave, then you might want to shoot that because that's a room. So it just depends on, or if it's a huge house and the garage is like massive and has Porsches and Audis and stuff in there, you might get that because that's a cool shot. That might be an upsell. Even though the cars don't come with it, sometimes it just makes people happy to see it. This is the cabinets, sinks is the main thing, is the main focal point in a bathroom. The closets don't matter too much. The bathroom doesn't matter too much. They know there's a bathroom, toilet somewhere. I mean, a toilet somewhere in the bathroom. But the main thing is these fixtures, these cabinets, these tops. This is a very important tip. I've done it a few times. And when I first started shooting real estate photography, you want to go through and you want to open every door. Doesn't matter if it's a linen closet. Doesn't matter if it's a whatever, the heater, whatever. It doesn't matter. Open it and make sure. I have gone to houses, most of them are bigger, and I didn't open the door because I thought it was a closet. Turns out there's a whole other room. So it was a room inside. So for instance, we were in a room, I thought this was a closet door. You open it, and actually it was a whole other like kids' playroom. So I missed it. I had to go back and shoot it because there's a room in the house. Or a bathroom. I've missed a couple of small bathrooms that were just doors that looked like it was a closet, so I'm not going to open it. Because again, a lot of times there's people there, you feel weird about it when you're first starting, but open every door. I know this seems like I'm harping on a little much and it's kind of stupid, but if you're getting in business for yourself, you're doing real estate photography, one of the worst things that happens is you drive out an hour to do a house, you shoot it, you come back and you edit it in 24 hours and they get them the next day and they say, hey, where's this room? And you go back through your photos, you're like, I don't have it. You have to go back out there on your own dime, shoot that one room, be there for 5 minutes, then drive an hour back, go edit that photo, upload it, and send it to them. That's why it's so bad. So just make sure you get every room and make sure you open every door. All right, so you just finished shooting the house. The last thing that I do, it's a pretty important thing I think, is to just kind of go through your photos and count. So you go through and you count to make sure that you got at least the number that you need. It's 25 is usually the minimum. But again, if it's a small house, then you're lucky if you get that, so you may have like 20. But usually you're looking for at least 25 or 36, depending on, but you're also looking to make sure that you got everything. So the very last thing that you do as a real estate photographer is you have to turn off all the lights and lock up. Now, if someone's here, they'll probably do it for you and they just kind of want you to get out, so you just leave. But if no one's here, then it's your responsibility. So usually before this, I already kind of walk through, and this is just what you want to do real quick for me. So you kind of walk through and you just make sure, put your hands on. Okay, yeah, definitely shot this room, shot that room, bathroom, shot that. So that's what I'm doing. So usually when I do it, I'll say, okay, I shot this room, turn that light off. Didn't really shoot that, don't like it. That's kind of what you do. You're making sure you're walking through and you're turning off lights, all the lights, and then you lock up. First things first, hit all the lights. Especially with empty houses, some people might not come here for a while, so that might upset the owner if the light was on for like a week. So you make sure that you turn them off and you're walking through and also making sure you shot everything. There's a doggy door here too. That's cool. Lock it, check it, make sure it's your responsibility. Now, most of the time, you will either have a key, there'll be a combo lock, or a super. If you don't have super access, then they let you in the door. So, they let you in the door, no one's here, what do? Well, you do what you do when you're kids. You lock the front door, high, too low. I'm gonna try that again. I want to do that on camera. So when you leave, either you will have a key and there'll be a combo lock that you just put it back in, or you'll have super access, or if you don't, someone will be here, you can just peace out. But if no one's here, you don't have a key, you don't have super access, then what you do is you just lock the front door, make sure the light's off, and then you go out the garage. So I don't know if you guys did this when you were a kid. So what you do is you just basically open the garage and then you close it and you run out and jump over the lasers. So anyway, that's all. That's shooting a house. Hopefully this helps you a little bit. I wanted to give you some insight and actually hear with me while this is actually a house. It's really going on the market. So we're really in it here and I think it's pretty cool. So hopefully this helps you. And my name's Dan Kaplan. Thank you so much for watching. Come back and see me again.